I wound that one up. This is Market Vitals. Robert Heffernan. This is Market Vitals. We'll talk blockchain here, as I spent most of the time over the past year talking blockchain exclusively. But now we were covering many more things. I am a master EndoTechnician, firmly in the matrix. Everything's digital now, man. You got to get your Neo on, and in order to participate in digital market discovery, please follow us /IO and at HFR from the floor on Twitter. Please like and share these videos on YouTube if that's where you are partaking in them. And please go to EndoTech.io and subscribe so you get the entire segment of these videos. Portrayed by the Fed yesterday, and maybe they knew this ADP number was going to be the worst number in 9 years. And for me, the market is loving the dovishness of the Fed and blowing through all of the support or resistance levels, seemingly unhinged by this jobs report. Now, we get the full unemployment report on Friday that we need to pay attention to. But man, is there a disconnect going lower, RBOB lower, gold higher. And you would think those things, maybe long term, maybe it's good for the stock market. And a dovish Fed obviously is good for the stock market long term. But for me, there seems to be a disconnect here, as if we are heading towards a recession, and that's what the Fed wants to head off, that means that lower economic things should be in the pipeline, and at the end of the day, that can't be good for stock valuation, can it? Well, I'll tell you one thing. The market can stay disconnected from the fundamentals a lot longer than you can stay solvent. So I like selling the 99, 28 even area. I didn't. Before we talk about the vitals, the actual price discovery, let me cover one more thing, because then we'll be able to cover them both, the S&Ps and Bitcoin. All right, so that's the first thing I noticed today. And then next was this thought that there's a correlation in the article pointing out between the price of the yuan, U.S. dollar yuan price, and Bitcoin, because currently there's been devaluation in the yuan and the revaluate or Bitcoin price per dollar going up. Now, causation and correlation are two oft confused things, and I'm not sure. It doesn't mean it's causational, and doesn't mean the correlation is going to stick around. For me, you got to watch the price action and forget about, again, these are the whispers. These are what people, they need to write articles, right? So there's been a correlation. Does it continue? Who knows? Who cares, actually? Let's take the vitals. Take vitals is my chance to talk actual price discovery. Here's a horn for me. I've been talking about the monthly level at 77.76, and I said if we do that, if we can't hold it, that next level is that monthly up momentum level, and that was at 74.99. They made a low of 75.01, missed it by X. But for me, there's an interesting dynamic going on here, as we're going to spend another full day in lower momentum on the daily. And the longer that we spend here below the weekly momentum level, 77.76, and they're just below that now. And more importantly, as we spend time in daily lower momentum, again, one time frame leads into the next. Obviously, the longer term time frames are the most important. But if you show continued weakness on this day, especially unable to stay out of lower momentum on the daily, it makes me hesitant. And I bought them against this monthly momentum level. I didn't quite get the 75.01s because I didn't have an order resting. Shame on me on the level, and I bought the bounce off of it. But I will not want to see Bitcoin stay in low momentum on the daily for another day or two and get these bands on that daily fully rounding and expanding potential to the downside developing, because then I don't think the level holds. I think we got a chance to take that 7,500 level out in Bitcoin. And then, as I talked about the other day, the weekly average is all the way down at 6,081. I mean, think about that. 6,081, the next big level of support on the longer term charts. And the monthly moving average is down at 58.61. Again, I'm not saying that's where we go, but I'm telling you that's what the potentials are on these longer term price charts. And you better pay attention to the potentials because, in my experience, the market exposes the potentials and then goes and discovers them more than not. All right, so that's what I'm seeing at Bitcoin. And the S&Ps, as I said, I really thought they would defend the momentum levels, which was 71, and it was also the monthly average, and then the weekly momentum level, which was 28 even, 27.99, blew through that. The daily average 28.13, blew through that. Currently, S&P's trading, hold on. SPOO's trading 22.25, and so now I'm looking at that up momentum level 28.53, and the weekly average is somewhere in that area, also 28.46 or something like that. And again, the economic news looks bearish as all get out, yet the dovishness from the Fed is so powerful in people's minds and eyes that I think it's, for me, I'm still bearish here. I'm currently short and currently will be stopped out if we make new highs. And again, I'm not going to risk it all because I will look to sell another level because I believe that sooner or later the fundamentals have to be borne out, right? But I'm not going to fight the chart, all right? I never like to be fighting the chart. So that's what I'm seeing in the S&Ps, in Bitcoin. And again, I think there's a disconnect. I don't see how gold is higher. Bonds are higher in general. I didn't check on them today. But crude oil and RBOB lower. There's something amiss here. That's all I'm telling you. And believe me, the charts can stay disconnected from the fundamentals longer than you can stay solvent, especially if you're highly leveraged. So keep that in mind, man. How are you leveraged? It's incredibly important in your modeling to see how you're leveraged and therefore what you can withstand on irrational market behavior. All right, listen, that's what I'm seeing. Thank you so much for stopping by. Please be disciplined, trade disciplined, mind the mo, and I will see you tomorrow for another segment of Market Vitals. Thank you so much for watching.